Beneath the tranquil streets of Bay Village, Ohio, a dark mystery lurked. In 1989, 10-year-old Amy Mihaljevic vanished without a trace, tearing apart a peaceful community. Welcome back to Crimescape. Today, we revisit the perplexing case that has haunted Bay Village for decades and join the search for answers. On the fateful day of October 27, 1989, Amy Mihaljevic's day started like any other. She woke up, got ready for school, and said goodbye to her mother, Margaret. Little did they know it would be their last morning together. After school, Amy made her way to the Bay Village Square Shopping Center, a popular local hangout. It was here that Amy was seen talking to an unknown man. Witnesses, who were children themselves, described him as a middle-aged individual, possibly wearing a tan jacket and glasses. They recalled seeing Amy engaged in what appeared to be a friendly conversation with this man, with no signs of distress or fear. To them, it seemed like Amy knew the man, and they assumed he was a family friend or a relative. However, the reality was far more sinister. Unbeknownst to those around her, Amy had received a mysterious phone call days before her disappearance. The caller, posing as a friend of her mother's, told Amy that her mother had received a promotion at work. He invited Amy to help him choose a surprise gift for her mother. Amy, being a loving daughter, agreed to the plan, keeping it a secret as the caller had requested. Later that day, when Amy didn't return home, her mother grew worried. She called Amy's school and learned that Amy had left school as usual. Margaret then called the police, reporting her daughter missing. The confusion and fear that ensued would mark the beginning of a long, heartbreaking journey for Amy's family and the entire Bay Village community. As the sun set on that October day, the Mihaljevic household was engulfed in a chilling silence. Margaret Mihaljevic, Amy's mother, was gripped by a fear no parent should ever have to experience. Her daughter Amy was missing. Margaret immediately contacted the local police, reporting her daughter's disappearance. The Bay Village Police Department sprang into action, launching a search for the missing 10-year-old. As the hours turned into days with no sign of Amy, the severity of the situation became clear. This was not a case of a child losing track of time or wandering off. Something far more sinister had occurred. The FBI was brought in to assist with the investigation, turning the case into a nationwide effort. The small town of Bay Village was thrust into the national spotlight, the tranquility of their community shattered by the unfolding tragedy. As investigators began piecing together Amy's last known movements, a chilling detail emerged. Amy's friends revealed that she had received a mysterious phone call days before her disappearance. The caller, a man claiming to be a co-worker of Amy's mother, had invited Amy to help him pick out a surprise gift for her mother's supposed promotion. This phone call, initially dismissed as an innocent secret between a daughter and her mother's friend, now took on a far more ominous tone. The revelation of the phone call marked a turning point in the investigation. It provided a possible motive for Amy's disappearance and painted a chilling picture of the calculated manipulation that led to that fateful encounter at the Bay Village Square shopping center. The search for Amy Mihaljevic had now become a desperate race against time. 3 months after Amy's disappearance on February 8, 1990, the worst fears of the Mihaljevic family and the Bay Village community were realized. A jogger in rural Ashland County, over 50 miles away from Bay Village, stumbled upon a horrifying sight: the lifeless body of a young girl. It was Amy Mihaljevic. The discovery was a devastating blow. The vibrant 10-year-old girl who had been the subject of a nationwide search was now the victim of a brutal murder. Amy's body bore the signs of a violent struggle, a silent testament to her final moments. The reality of her death was a chilling reminder of the evil that had intruded upon the peaceful community of Bay Village. Investigators noted that Amy was found without her horse-riding boots and turquoise horsehead earrings, items she was known to have had with her on the day of her disappearance. These missing items suggested that the killer might have taken them as trophies, a chilling detail that added another layer of horror to the already tragic case. The discovery of Amy's body marked a grim turning point in the investigation. The search for a missing child had now become a hunt for a killer. As the news of Amy's death spread, the community of Bay Village mourned the loss of one of their own, their grief tinged with a burning desire for justice. In the wake of the tragic discovery, the investigation into Amy Mihaljevic's murder intensified. Forensic experts meticulously analyzed the crime scene, hoping to find any trace of the killer. Among the evidence collected were several strands of hair and fibers, which were sent for DNA analysis. At the time, DNA technology was still in its infancy, but investigators hoped it would provide a crucial lead in the case. As the investigation progressed, a chilling pattern began to emerge. Other girls in the Bay Village area reported receiving phone calls similar to the one Amy had received. The callers, always men, would claim to be friends or co-workers of the girls' parents and would invite the girls to meet them under various pretexts. These revelations painted a terrifying picture of a predator who had been operating in the area, targeting young girls in a calculated manner. One lead that investigators pursued was a potential connection to the Holly Hill Farm and the Lake Erie Nature and Science Center. Amy was known to have visited these places, and they were among the few locations where she could have come into contact with the unique fibers found on her clothing. However, despite extensive investigation, no definitive link could be established. The investigation into Amy's murder was a complex and challenging endeavor. With each new lead and revelation, investigators found themselves delving deeper into a web of deceit and manipulation. Yet despite the obstacles, they remained committed to their mission: to bring Amy's killer to justice and to ensure that her death was not in vain. In 2016, a new lead emerged in Amy Mihaljevic's case. An ex-girlfriend of a local man claimed her former partner had an unsettling obsession with Amy's case. The man, who lived locally during Amy's disappearance, fit the physical description of the suspect and had a history of inappropriate behavior towards young girls. Upon confrontation, the suspect's evasive responses and refusal to cooperate raised further suspicions. A search of his storage unit yielded items of interest, but no concrete evidence linking him to Amy's murder. Simultaneously, advancements in DNA technology offered hope. Dr. E.D. Green developed a method to extract DNA from rootless hair strands, potentially unlocking the DNA evidence from Amy's crime scene. Despite the passage of time, investigators remained committed to solving Amy's case, inching closer to the truth with each new lead and technological breakthrough. The investigation into Amy Mihaljevic's case continues, with the police and FBI relentlessly pursuing leads. Rewards are offered for information leading to the arrest and conviction of Amy's killer, underscoring the ongoing commitment to solve this case. Amy's case has had a profound impact on her family and the community, reminding us of the importance of vigilance and community support. In conclusion, we pay tribute to Amy and her mother, their memory serving as a beacon of hope and resilience in the face of this unsolved tragedy.